Yoga with Domini, and I'm Domini. This is a more sort of workout-y, fitnessy, what I would call sweaty yoga flow, mainly for your legs. We're going to start in a seated pose, so easy seat, and just do some nice side bends. So I'm bringing my right hand to the mat, and I'm going to bring my left hand up and over. Breathe in, and as I breathe out, I'm just going to bend over to the right. So a nice side stretch. And then breathe in, back to center. Breathe out as you stretch over to the left. And just keep doing that. So spend a few seconds here and then breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more each side. And I'm sort of pulsing in this movement as well. You don't have to, you can just stay static if you need to. And back to center. And we're just gonna go to butterfly pose, or what some people would call cobbler's pose. So feet together, knees out nice and wide. I like butterfly pose because it reminds me of butterfly. My knees are out like butterfly wings, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to flutter those wings. So I'm just pulsing my knees up and down, nice and gently. Remember the rules: if you feel any pain or discomfort in any situation, ease up out of it, or even just stop doing it altogether. This is just warming up our hips, our glutes, our inner thighs. Nice breathing, so don't forget to breathe, don't hold your breath, even in these warm-up poses. Making sure you're breathing. And even when you're doing these more fitnessy, I guess, flows that I do, still focus on your breath, still try and zone in on something. And usually your breath is a good one to zone into. For that mental clarity as well. It's not just for our physical yoga, it's for our mental clarity as well, our mental health, just trying to clear the mind of distractions basically and be present in the moment. So just trying to be present in this moment. And then we're going to windshield wiper the legs. So I'm just going to bring my hands behind me and just lean on them a bit. Bring my feet out so that my heels are on the floor and they're a bit further out than hip width apart, toes pointed to the sky. And I don't know if you just saw that, but I lifted my bum up, I tucked my tailbone under and then planted my butt on the floor. So I've got a nice flat back. And then I'm just gonna lean both my knees over to one side, so for me it's to the right. And as I breathe in, come up, and as I breathe out, lean them over to the left. So just keep doing that. You might find that you start shifting down the mat. You can always just bring your bum off the floor and just shift back. One more either side. And then we're going to come onto all fours and we're going to do some cat-cows. Warm up the spine. So breathing in. Dipping your belly, lifting your gaze, and then breathe out as you curve your spine up towards the ceiling. And we're doing this fairly quickly, not super slow, but just a nice, reasonable pace. You don't want to go so fast that you injure yourself either. And you want to be able to breathe properly, so you're going with your breath. So make sure you're not going so fast that you can't breathe properly. And on your next I always say that, on your next cat. So spine curved up to the ceiling. Just come back to a neutral spine. I'm going to bring my right leg up to the top of the mat in between my hands for a low lunge. You can keep your hands on the mat for this one because we're going to go into half splits. And then low lunge. So we're just going between those two. Quickish. But again, you want to go with your breathing. So I'm breathing in here and out as I go into half splits. Breathing in and out. Just warming up the backs of those legs and your hips and your lower back. Many muscle groups. Next time you're back in a low lunge, just bring that knee back and switch sides. So left leg up to the top of the mat in between your hands, into that low lunge. Nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just bring it back into half splits. And just keep doing that. And the next time you're in a low lunge, just bring that knee back to a tabletop pose. And what we're going to do is basically donkey kickbacks. So keep your core nice and tight, nice and engaged. Don't let your belly drop, don't sag, just keep it, everything tucked. So basically tucking that core in, keeping your tailbone tucked, everything solid, nice flat back. Bring your right foot up towards the sky, so you've got a bend in your knee. You're trying to push your heel towards the ceiling. And then we're going to do donkey kickback, so you're kicking that heel up towards the ceiling. You should definitely feel this in your glutes. Hamstrings too. Keep going. And back down and switch sides. So the other leg, left leg, pulsing up, donkey kickbacks. You're kicking your heel up towards the ceiling. Try not to collapse into one side or the other. Try and keep your arms nice and straight, shoulders away from your ears, keeping that core engaged, so you're protecting your lower back, and then kicking your leg up to the sky. Or your foot up to the sky, I should say. And bring that leg back down. We're going to do fire hydrants. So I'll come this way just so you can see what I'm doing, because I'm starting with the right leg. We're just bringing our leg out to the side and back down. Flex that foot. Try and keep your knee in line with your hip and bring it up as far as it will go. Hold it there for a second or two when you get up. So flexing the foot, bringing that knee off the ground, basically like you're a dog peeing up a fire hydrant. That's what this is about. Back down. Again, have that integrity in these arms, so make sure they're nice and straight. Make sure your core's engaged. This is kind of, this one today I suppose is a little bit Pilates inspired, although Pilates is inspired by yoga, so keep going. Keep going. If you start to fatigue, if you start to feel any pain that isn't meant to be there. So what I mean by that is obviously you're going to feel like I can feel it working in my hip now. I can feel that I'm doing something, and that's a good sign. But if you start to get any pains, like sharp pains, twinges, if it starts to cramp, just stop. And we'll do one more. And then to the other side. So left leg. Nice deep breath in and out as you get into the workout. And remember to breathe. You can always do these exercises as well with a band. I sometimes do this workout with a band. Gives a bit more resistance. But it's good enough without the band. Definitely good enough without the band. If you don't have one, or you don't want to use one, or you can't. One more. And we're going to do a similar thing to those donkey kickbacks again, but we're going to keep our legs straight. So right leg out, put your toes on the mat. We're pushing our heel up to the sky again, but we're keeping our legs straight. So bring it up and pulse. Keep that core engaged. Keep your arms nice and straight, shoulders away from your ears. Keep pulsing. And switch, other side. So give it a nice stretch there if you want to begin with. Push into the floor on your heel. And then begin. Remember to keep that core engaged. You don't want to dip in your belly like this. You want to keep everything nice and sort of not slack, I guess. So you don't want to be collapsing into anything. Your back, your whole shoulders, your hips. Integrity in those stabilizing muscles, because we're not just working our legs, we're working our arms here as well, because they're keeping us upright, and you're trying to hold that integrity and not collapse in. You're working your core, because you're keeping that tight. That's helping us lift the leg. And release. We'll just do a quick child's pose just to stretch out those hips. And we're going to make our way onto our side for leg lifts. So we're not finished with the legs yet, sorry. So come onto your forearm, laying on your side. You can come down onto your elbow there if you want to, and do it like that, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Again, you're tucking that tailbone, so don't let your bum stick out back here. Tuck in the tailbone. You can keep this leg bent, the leg that you've got on the floor, straighten the other one and flex your toes. And we're just going to do leg lifts, pulses. So breathing in and out and go. And just remember to breathe while you're doing this, keeping that core nice and engaged. Again, even though you're leaning down on your elbow, or you might be here, try not to collapse into that elbow. Try and keep a bit of integrity in your body here. Try not to collapse into anything. If you feel yourself collapsing down anywhere, just try and straighten up. And then we're going to bring the knee in to the chest, back down and up. In, down and up. Just keep doing that. Nice breaths in and out. Do not hold your breath. One more into the chest and up, and we'll switch sides. So going around to the other side, we'll do it all on the other side. Just getting yourself nice and comfy. Make sure you've got everything I spoke about on the other side, so your core's nice and tight, you've tucked your tailbone, nothing's collapsed into anything. And start doing it on this side. So pulsing the leg up and down. And I'm starting to feel it definitely already in those hips, thighs, butt. But remember to breathe. Focus on your breathing. Breathe through the pain, as long as it's not bad pain. It's normal pain that you're meant to get because you're working the muscles. And then we'll bring the knee in and leg up. Into chest, leg up. And really keep your core engaged. One more, in and up. Again, we'll just do a child's pose. I'm just going to flip around just to stretch out those hips a bit more again. Nice deep breath in and out. Into tabletop pose. We're just going to do what's called floating tabletop. So I'm going to tuck my toes under so they're on the mat. Breathe in and breathe out as I lift my knees off the mat. Just a couple of inches, that's all you want. Hold it there for a sec. And downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in and out. And we're just going to flow between those two poses a few times. So back into that hovering tabletop. Breathe in. Breathe out. Downward facing dog. And again, hovering tabletop. And downward dog. And just keep flowing between those two poses at your own pace. Make sure you're breathing. So if you have to pause in one of these poses, especially the downward facing dog, because that's more of the, I wouldn't say relaxing pose, but the one where you're not working so hard, I guess. If you need to pause and take a breath, then that's fine. With that hovering tabletop, don't just do it and then straight into down dog again. Stay there for a couple of seconds at least. Really feel it working, and then down dog. Next time you're in down dog, just stay there for a sec. Pedal the feet out, sway your hips, whatever feels good. And then we'll make our way up to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Nice deep breath in and out as you fold. And then breath in, halfway lift. And out, forward fold. Plant the hands, step it back to a plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. And then we're going to go from down dog to plank a few times. So breathing in and out. hold it there. So again, like the hovering tabletop, don't just do it and then go straight back into down. So don't go plank, down dog. Yeah, just plank, hold it for a couple of seconds at least, then down dog. You might see that I'm shaking when I go into plank. That's good. It means you're doing a good job. Everything's doing what it's meant to be doing. Back to down dog. Hang out here for a sec, just get your breath back, and then make your way up to a forward fold. And then roll it up to mountain. Take a nice deep breath in, arms above your head, and breathe out. We're going to do some standing kickbacks now. So if you need to hold on to a wall or a chair or anything like that, then do. I'm just going to turn this way just so you can see me, because obviously we're starting with the right leg. I'm just going to keep my hands on my hips, but like I said, you can hold on to a wall or a chair. Excuse me. You can have your hands on your hips. You can have them out sort of here or here. If you want a bit more core work for your balance, you can always sort of have them out or above your head. So I'm bringing the right leg back behind me. Again, I'm flexing that foot, keeping the core engaged, tailbone tucked under. There's going to be a slight lean forward, clearly, so that I can actually bring the leg back up. So you'll find you'll have a slight lean forward, and then we kick back. And your leg won't come up that far, because you don't want to tilt the hips. You want to keep the hips nice and square. Engage those glutes, engage that core, keep that tailbone tucked under, and pulse. And breathing. So nice deep breath in and out. If you wobble, that's fine. Just get straight back into it. Remember, I said you can have your hands out or up. If you need to, if you want, that will help a little bit more working your balance. It won't help with your balance. Holding on to something will help with the balance if you're finding it difficult to balance and do this. But working those core muscles, those deep core muscles for balance, it helps if you don't hold on to anything. But obviously if you have to, definitely do. The last thing you want is to fall over and do yourself an injury. Ego's out the door in yoga. Definitely. Don't be like, oh, I need to hold on to something because my balance is really bad, but I'm not going to because of your ego. Stop doing that now. We'll switch to the other side, because that's not going to do you any good. Do what you need to do. So nice deep breath in, and then start to pulse. You don't want to lean forward too far either. You want to try and have your body as upright as you can, but obviously there's clearly going to be a slight lean in there for you to be able to get your foot up. Really working the glutes. Even in this leg that's not seemingly not doing anything, it is. It's keeping us balanced. It's not just your core that's keeping us balanced, this leg is as well. So you're working the muscles in this leg too to keep you balanced. And then bring it back to centre. Stay where you are. I'm just going to face the front so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to do side leg lifts like we did when we were laying down, but standing. So again, hold on to whatever you need to hold on to. Hands on your hips, or you can have them out, up above your head if you want to do that. And you're going to have a slight bend in this knee, in this leg. Flex that foot again and just bring it to the side. Nice, slow, controlled movements here. We're not pulsing like we did when we did from behind. We're bringing the full range of motion basically. So you're bringing your feet almost like together and then bringing your leg up as far as it will go. And we're just controlled bringing it back down. So you don't want it to swing. You don't want to use momentum. You want to use your muscles to bring it up and down. And again, you'll feel that in this static leg, this stationary leg, you'll feel it a lot as well, especially in your calf. And you might feel like your heels are digging, your toes are digging into the floor. Try not to do that if you can, but obviously if you have to, you have to, whatever works. But try and keep your weight evenly distributed in this stationary leg. And again, you're trying to keep your body as upright as possible, but you might find there's a slight tilt over to the left. Core engaged. And release. Shake out that leg, because this one, wow, feels worse than this one. And then switch. So again, nice deep breath in and out, and start to do your side leg lifts. Nice and controlled, remember. No swinging, no using momentum. You're using your muscles to bring it up, and then you're using your muscles to control that movement going down as well. You'll be happy to know we're going to stretch it out after this. But you've got a really nice little leg workout in here, so you should be proud of yourself. Last one, and release. You should be at the top of the mat anyway, unless you needed to turn around, that's absolutely fine. But if you're not at the top of the mat, make your way to the top of the mat for mountain pose again. So we're just going to breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, bring our hands to our side, push our chest out. Nice deep breaths in and out. Filling our lungs with oxygen that can spread around our body and just send all the goodness everywhere that needs it. Breathing in, arms up. Breathe out, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Keep the core nice and tight. You can bend your knees. Just go down as far as you can go, that's comfortable. Get a nice stretch up the back of those legs. And you can sway the hips a little bit from side to side if you want to, as long as that feels good for your lower back. If it doesn't, then don't do that. You can pedal the legs. Just stay on one side for a couple of seconds there, just to get a nice stretch. And then do the other side. And just repeat. We're going to get a nice IT band stretch now. So, bringing your right foot behind the left. It's going to be a fair few inches behind the left. And then you just walk your hands over to the left as well. You should feel that up the side of that leg, that back leg. Nice deep breaths in and out. Remember, if you can't breathe in a pose, you've gone way too far and you need to ease out a bit. Do the other side. And back to centre. We're going to come down into Malasana now, so yogi squat. So bring your feet a bit further out than hip width, toes pointed out a little bit more of an angle rather than being straight ahead, and just bring your hips down. Breathe in, hands together, push your arms into your legs and your legs into your arms, but not too much, not like we normally do in a Malasana. We're starting to slow down now. So I want it to be more really actually a gentle stretch you're pushing your arms into your legs, but don't resist back. So normally we would resist with our arms and resist with our legs to really fire up those hip flexors and stuff, and glutes and inner thighs. But today, because we've already done all that stuff, we just want to get a stretch in our hip flexors and our glutes and our thighs and stuff like that. So we don't want to create that resistance. We just want to push our knees out a bit with our arms, just so it's comfortable. You don't want any pain or for it to feel really uncomfortable. It should feel nice and comfy still. And then we'll come back up into a forward fold. And then we're going to go into Skandasana. So we're just going to walk, toe heel our foot out a little bit more. And come down into Skandasana. If you can't do that, you can always stay up. Keep your hands on the floor and just bend into that knee. And you can point that toe, flex that toe up. Or you can keep it down on the floor. You'll still get a nice stretch in your inner thigh there. So you can just stay up like this if you need to. Or you might be up on your toes here a little bit more in Skandasana. You're not getting as much of a stretch in this leg, but you still feel it in this one. So whatever you need to do. Switch sides. And you notice I use my hands to take me over there this time. Again, because we've already done our strength stuff, so I don't want to use the leg strength to get us over. I'm trying to just stretch out now, so I use my hands to help me get over to this side rather than using leg strength. Down onto our bums for butterfly. Nice deep breath in. And then we'll forward fold over. So what I want you to do is keep your back straight to begin with, hinge at the hips. So you won't go down as far because you're keeping your back straight, you're not curving over yet. So that nice deep breath in, hinge from the hips, keep your back straight. Give it a couple of breaths. Inhale. And on your next exhale, just fold forward then. You can fold over as much as you need to. Let your back and your head hang heavy. And roll it up. Come to a nice easy seated pose, cross-legged pose, and we'll just do some twists. So breathing in, arms up, and twist over to the right, right arm behind you, left hand on your knee, and just look over your right shoulder. Keep your body nice and upright, so good posture before you twist. You don't want to be slouching into it like this, because then you're not doing any good. Be upright. And just go as far as you can go, where it's comfortable, where you can just feel it working. You don't want to push yourself too far. You can push it a little bit, just a little bit more, just to make progress in your flexibility, but don't push it so it hurts or it feels really uncomfortable, you can't breathe or anything like that. Back to center, breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, twist over to the left. Back to center, we'll just do a few gentle cat-cows. So breathe in, and I usually curve my back behind me, chin to chest. Usually actually I'll breathe out there. Breathing in now. As I push my chest forward, gaze upwards. But you can breathe however you want, as long as you are breathing. So you might do it that other way around. For me, it's breathing in here. And then breathing out as I go into cat. A couple more. And back to a neutral spine. Nice deep breath in, arms up. And out. Once more, arms up. Hands at prayer. Bring them down to your heart chakra, or you can bring them to your third eye chakra, whichever feels good for you in this moment. And just bow. And thank you. Thank yourself for showing up and doing this one today. Thank the universe for being there for you and giving you good energy and making it possible for you to do this for yourself today. Thank anyone else or anything else you want to thank. It's entirely up to you. I thank you for doing this this flow with me, for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like the video and definitely leave me a comment below, because I love reading people's comments, even if it's just like feedback. If you could give me feedback on how I'm teaching, maybe what I could do slightly differently, or constructive criticism, any deep, like happy, positive feedback would be brilliant. So that would be fantastic if you could. Obviously, like I said, like the video and subscribe, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you're anywhere near me, I do one-to-one and small group sessions as well, so you can always book me in for one of those. But otherwise, I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a really, really lovely day. Take care. Bye.